Okay, everybody. My name is John Johnson. Thank you for coming out tonight. I got a presentation with for Nui and Mintage Mining, and I can tell you this is a business I've been in for about 6.5 months now, and by far and away the most complete networking business, online business, whatever you want to call it, that I've ever seen. And there's so many elements to this thing, and we'll kind of go through those tonight. And when you think about online marketing and online companies, uh, there's pros and cons and things of that sort. When you look at this company and you learn more about it and you really peel back the layers, it just gets better and better and better, and it's because they have such a strong team behind this company. So to tell you a little bit about corporate, I live about 15 minutes away from the corporate offices, so I'm very fortunate to be close. In fact, I'll be there again tomorrow to just take care of a few things, and we've got leadership calls every Monday. As one of the team leaders, I do not work for corporate. I'm just an affiliate, but we represent the fastest growing team in the company right now, and I'm very competitive. To I want to stay on top. I want to break records more or less, and I love the members on our team. We have so many bright people on our team, and it's just I think we have a lot of rapport, and it's just and a lot of it's because this platform that we have is so amazing. So we're looking at a company that just basically launched with Nui with within the last year, really about 7 months ago. They already have the entire top floor of this building right here, 26,000 square feet, over 50 employees, completely debt free. Okay, founders with decades of experience, not just experience but connections like you wouldn't believe. They're very intelligent, very wise. They've got great legal counsel. We'll talk about them a little bit as well. Whenever you're looking for an opportunity, especially online, it's nice to have a face. It's nice to have a company that can be seen, that's out there, that's transparent, that's right here in the United States, and easily accessible, things of that sort. And Nui has all of that. One thing about their law firm, Jones Day, when you're working in any business, whether it's online or really brick and mortar, any business, it's always smart. It's always a good idea to affiliate yourself with a company who's gone top shelf. What I mean by that is hiring the number one law firm in the United States as far as business development, as far as cryptocurrency. Probably the top crypto attorneys in the world, 5 different continents, 2,500 attorneys. And in fact, according to Accretus, the report, the last 2 years in a row ranked number one in the United States. Can't get much better than that. And as I go through this presentation, you'll see why I believe that Jones Day was the best decision, that Nui and Mintage Mining, Symatri, is the best decision that they ever made. And I guarantee you speak with any of the guys over at corporate, they would agree. Jones Day has been a blessing. They've been amazing to work with, and they have really, really helped this company structure in a way that keeps them compliant, that keeps them safe, keeps them, as Richard, one of the founders, likes to say, keeps them in the safe harbors. Jones Day is so reputable and so well known that Mark Rasmussen, the gentleman that actually counsels Nui, he's one of their partners at Jones Day, and he received a receivership of $600 million from the SEC. First time ever that the SEC assigned a receivership in any crypto-related case. What does that mean to receive a receivership? Basically, Mark is telling the SEC what types of penalties to place on a Rise Bank that was shut down, basically helping them with regulations, things of that sort. What the bank has to do to pretty much, I guess, get back on their good side if they ever do. Things of that sort is pretty much taking over the case and counseling the SEC on how to handle it. Okay, this is a big deal. And for us to have this law firm representing us It's huge, guys, because it's easy for people in this world, in the crypto world, to fall into selling securities versus offering utility, things of that sort. Everything has to be structured correctly, the right way. And if you slip up, if you mess up, you can find yourself on the bad end of the deal. Okay, you don't want to be overselling securities, things of that sort. If you're selling a security, you're going to need to be licensed, and everybody underneath you will be have to be licensed, things of that sort. You want to stick on the utility side. You want a law firm that helps you set things up correctly, which is what Jones Day has done. There's a reason why when you see other companies or platforms out there, and one of the first things I hear all the time, gosh, I hope they're not in the United States. I hope they're not in the United States. Well, that's because a lot of them aren't counseled correctly, or they don't want to spend the money or take time or whatever it may be. Who knows? Who knows? And I never name names, but I'm just saying things have to be done a certain way to make sure you're on in those safe harbors. There's a reason that NUI has a massive office and huge workforce here in the United States, because they're not worried about it. They know they did everything top shelf. They know they did it correctly. So here on the slides, you can kind of read through these, and I record these presentations, post them in our Facebook page, and also on a YouTube playlist that I have as well. So you guys can kind of read the differences between a utility and a security offering. One thing on a utility, one thing that really stands out is anytime you're dealing with securities, things of that sort, and I'm not an attorney, so but I do understand this pretty well, and I can tell you right now, when you have, for example, an ITO like we did with the initial token offering of Kala, whenever you're buying a security, you're expecting a return, things of that sort. People can say, and it's a very broad classification when it comes to securities. Anything that you pretty much buy or purchase or invest in or whatever, expecting a return, it could be, keywords could be a security. But utilities are a little bit different, okay? They have intrinsic value. They've got other things driving value other than just buying and selling and trading and things of that sort, okay? They've got products, they've got services behind it. And one thing that's very important to note, here in a conference a couple of weeks ago, and it's on another slide I've got, I believe, in this presentation, but one of the spokesmen for the SEC deemed Bitcoin and also Ethereum Ether not to be securities because of the decentralization behind those coins. Very similar to what Kala is doing. Kala is doing a lot of the stuff that Bitcoin did, setting it up very similar to what they did, creating this worldwide decentralized network through the mining rigs that they have, through the memberships. Every time they sign somebody up to mine and rent hash power on actual machines and not pool the money and not have rev share programs or anything, they stay away from all of that. Okay, it's very important for members and prospects to understand that we are in safe harbors for a reason, and a lot of it has to do with Jones Day and just the principles. Darren O'Lyon, or one of our founders, actually has a law degree, and he understands this stuff very well. So these guys, kind of what they've done is they have gone over and above when it comes to setting up this company, because they don't want to just be a network marketing group. That's not really even what they are. They are a full-fledged blockchain company with a blockchain solution. So what is a blockchain? For everyone that's new to cryptocurrency, this is just kind of a short description of what the blockchain is, but kind of give you a good example. They call it blockchain because, for example, if I have a transaction and I want to send, say, $500 from the United States to, I don't know, Japan or whatever, and that transaction goes out into this block, and there's several different transactions that pile up in the block, and the confirmation process needs to take place. Okay, before that transaction is confirmed, it cannot be received by the receiving party at all until that confirmation process takes place. So all of these transactions go into this block, almost like a chain, if you will. These confirmations take place, and what's nice about it is a decentralized process. And a lot of times these confirmations, you have to have more than one confirmation from more than one source. And so it's kind of this, it's so amazing. So you don't have one source controlling the whole thing. Okay. So you have all these different confirmations taking place. These confirmations are done by miners, crypto miners. So it could be people, persons such as myself. It could be my next door neighbor. It could be somebody a couple countries away. But there's no big central banks and anything controlling all of these confirmations and making these. It's by different miners. What we do in Nui and Mintage mining is that we mine and we're paid every time that we receive a transaction, or basically we're rewarded with that transaction fee. So anybody, for example, anytime you send money on Coinbase or you know, I don't know, there's so many, the Bittrex, Binance, Cryptopia, Poloniex, all of those, you're paying a miner. Anytime you're sending Bitcoin or Ether or any of the mineable coins, you're paying a mining fee to somebody. It's nice to be on the receiving side, and people like us who are able to receive those fees through Mintage mining. So that's basically what crypto mining is a confirmation process. So on weeks that we get paid 2% or 1% or 3% or 1.5% or whatever it may be, we're being paid off of actual transactions being done on the blockchain and by being rewarded those transactions. So to me, this is a very important point for everybody to remember. Okay, and I posted something like it today on our team Facebook page, New Global Leaders. Whenever somebody contacts me and they say, "Hey, John, I want you to look at this platform, this company, and share your thoughts," and they'll say, "You know what? These guys are guaranteeing 7% a week, or 1% a day, or 2% a day, or whatever." And my first thought is, how? Okay, because right now we're in an industry where it's very volatile. Some transactions, some days are higher than others, maybe per dollar amount, per transaction amount, and they're changing every minute of every day. So I sit there and I think to myself, how can they make these guarantees? Because if they're guaranteeing this, then there's something else that's going on behind the scenes that I may or may not want to be involved with. Because as a miner, your basically your weekly payouts, things like that, those are subject to transactions actually taking place and you winning those transactions, being awarded those transactions through different algorithms that your rigs are performing and things of that sort. So it's pretty much impossible to make guarantees. So I always tell people, hey, if they're offering this guarantee, I don't want anything to do with it. Okay, and it's not a knock on their company or anything like that, but that's usually when you run into the issues of where it may be a Ponzi scheme or something else going on, because typically that means they're probably taking the old money and paying the people, or sorry, the new money and paying the old members. And once the recruiting slows down, it just dies. It kills off. Okay, so I love the fact that some weeks we'll get kind of a higher payout, some weeks we'll get a lower payout, but we're consistently receiving payouts every week, but they're all over the board. They're all over the place. Why? Because mining's all over the place. It's all over the board. And so we're being paid based off renting terahash on actual rigs, actual machines, and how those rigs or machines perform. That's how we're paid every single week. Now, there's several other ways we can receive compensation in this plan as well. I'll kind of get into those here in just a little bit. Popularity of blockchain. What makes blockchain technology, or is it popular? I always tell people when they ask me that question, I'm like, sure, it's popular. Go ahead and ask Walmart, ask IBM, ask FedEx, Ford, Maersk, all these companies that are adopting blockchain solutions or signing on with places with existing blockchain solutions. Okay, a lot of companies are going to blockchain. Why? Because it can speed up transactions, it can make it cleaner, it's a full accounting, it's hard to commit fraud on a blockchain because all these confirmations are taking place, it's smooth, it cuts out the middleman, it's less expensive, it's secure. As it's the more decentralized it is, the more secure it is. It's a great solution. And so when people say, oh, well, are you mining Bitcoin? I say, no, we're mining on the blockchain in all sorts of different coins, and I'll kind of get into what Mintage mining does, what stuff that makes them pretty unique. Um, Wall Street is now in the game, the cryptocurrency game, which is awesome. All these new trading desks are starting to be opened up and things of that sort. We're in the beginning of something very special right now, and it's really exciting to be a part of this, and to be able to be with a company who works so diligently to do things the correct way. It's just, to me, I feel blessed every single day, which is why I do so many of these calls each week. I answer a lot of questions pretty much all day, every day. My phone just goes and goes and goes, but it's fine, and I'm happy to do it because I always feel like if I find something that blesses me, I want to turn around and help others as well. Um, this is kind of cool. A huge announcement this week. I was contacted by numerous people. The Federal Reserve opens cryptocurrency index, and here's a little link at the bottom. You can refer to that and read the article. But it's the old advantage: if you can't beat them, join them, right? So you've had two of the top communist countries in the world try to shut down cryptocurrency. They couldn't do it. Okay, and now the Federal Reserve is opening up a cryptocurrency index. That should be all we need to know about the strength and the future of cryptocurrency and the blockchain right here in this one slide. That was so amazing, and a lot of us knew it was just a matter of time. And so when they made that announcement, that was just music to a lot of our ears. So let's talk about Nui. Let's talk about Mintage mining. Nui, the company that likes to do everything top shelf and likes to do things carefully and correctly. Well, Nui, even in pre-launch, has already become the sponsor of a professional rugby team out here in Utah, the Utah Warriors. That stadium's about 5 minutes from my house. It's kind of funny. When it was being built, I didn't even know. I'll be honest, I did not even know what it was, and it happened to be a professional rugby stadium. Darren O'Lyon, our CEO, was a big-time rugby player for years and years, and did very well with it back in his younger years, and now he's a huge advocate for rugby here in Utah. And Nui, as you can see here, Nui, bigger, better, more. We're on their jerseys, we're on their ball, we're everywhere. Nui is getting out there, and it's very, very credible, very legitimate. We're extremely lucky to be a part of Nui. This slide here, I really like this. MLM or no MLM, you tell me. And this is what's so cool. Does Mintage mining, or really not Mintage mining, but Nui, does Nui have an element to it where it's network marketing? Yes, it does. Is Mintage, Symatri, the whole 9 yards, is it an MLM company? No. It's actually a blockchain company. But we talked a little bit about decentralization earlier, and we'll talk about it a little bit later as well. There's some major differences here between Nui and a typical MLM. Number one, we have a product that pays us directly. We have a passive element. Okay, the majority of network marketing companies, in order to survive, they need their distributors, they call them distributors, they need them to sell products in the form of an auto ship. The majority of their sales are done through an auto ship process where members have to go in, or distributors have to go in and pay X amount of dollars a month to purchase product, and this is how they're moving most of their product. Because a lot of times you can go to a store and buy the product for 5 or 10 times less, but the only reason you're buying it from the MLM is because you're hoping to build a team underneath you who will also purchase the product every month and do the same. But it's going to be just like any other MLM. As soon as the recruiting slows down, people will drop out, and the average lifespan in that model for a networker is 87 days. I've been in this for 6.5 months, and I've received word of 0 dropouts in our organization. 0 in 6.5 months. Okay, that's over 1,350 members, and nobody's dropped out. That's unheard of. Why? Because there's a passive element. Why? Because they've created a safe place for us and a safe platform, which is amazing to be able to be a part of this. Mute this real quick. So with that, very own blockchain, success for every single person on my team that has a mining agreement. We're paid every single Wednesday. And I want you to remember that we're paid every single week. And this is why this is so important. Okay. In this model, everybody wins because as a blockchain company, there are a few things that Nui, Mintage, and Symatri have to have happen. They have to have this happen. They need people to mine with Mintage. Mintage needs to pay us weekly because then we stay engaged since we're all making money and we share it with others. By sharing it with others, we are creating a larger, decentralized network which will attract corporate partners. Yes, we've got 15 under contract and several more in the works, and it's a lot more than 15 more than in the works that are signing up for our blockchain solution because of the decentralization, because of the safety, the security of the network, because of places like Jones Day, because of founders such as Darren and Richard and Troy, people that have been around for a long time. They feel safe, they feel secure on our blockchain. The more decentralized it is, the better it is for them. So let me ask you guys this question. I love posing this question. If you were to create or wanted to create a decentralized network to attract clients to use your blockchain, or if you were a client looking for a decentralized blockchain solution, would you sign up with a company that has any problem with retention? Okay, think about it. Would you sign up for a company that has an issue with retention if you're looking for a true decentralized solution? Okay, because if we're losing members every 87 days or we're losing members at all, every time you lose a member, guess what? You're more centralized, correct? You lose that decentralization. So not only do they want to pay us every Wednesday, they need to pay us every Wednesday. These guys need to stay on top of the mining world. They need to continue doing what they're doing. And if we have a week that's a little less than the last week, so what? Doesn't matter. This is a marathon, not a race. If people came here to become a millionaire in 30 days, this is not the place for you. Okay, this is not the place. Will people do very, very well here, very well financially? Yes, they will. I can tell you right now, it's been wonderful for me and my family just 6 months into it. Just 3-4 months into it, I was already doing it full time. I walked away from another career, okay, in 4 months. This could be, you can do extremely well in this. Okay, and there's a lot of strategies that I teach my team, how to maximize your payouts, how to do this, how to do that, how to turn this into a great business for yourself, or you can do this 100% passively because every single member that signs up for Nui and Mintage becomes part of our decentralized network. You hear Darren say it all the time, you are the network. They do not want to lose a single member, okay? Because they are creating this worldwide network. They've shipped out these collar rigs. You see these collar rigs here on the left. As Nui members, we are able to purchase these rigs to use inside our homes, and in other phases, they'll house them for us. They're going to have financing options for the rigs, and they're basically spreading these nodes, as they call them. Anybody in crypto will understand what that term means, nodes. Basically, these networks being created to mine our Kala, our token, okay, that was set up as a utility token, set up correctly to help increase the value, increase the exposure, and increase this network. So not only through Mintage mining, but mining our own personal token as well. Okay, all of this goes right into this master plan to create this wonderful solution for big clients to come and use our blockchain. Our blockchain should be announced very soon. We just started shipping out rigs just a week ago. Okay, we've had a lot of members post online, and I absolutely love it, and I encourage you to keep doing it. I think it's fantastic. I think it builds rapport, it builds confidence. We can have these real rigs in our possessions that we can use to mine our Kala with. Is a very exciting thing to be able to do, and it's great to share that excitement and hope that other members in phase 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or however many phases they have, whether it's 4 or 6 or whatever it may be, I'm really encouraging everybody to get in and get these rigs when you can, because It's something you're going to want at some point, because I believe call is going to do exceptionally well for a lot of different reasons. And when you look at our weekly payouts, okay, what would you rather do? Would you rather join with a company that says, hey, you know what, I guarantee I'm going to pay you 5% a week, and then they disappear in 6 months? Or do you want to get in with a company that's signing contract after contract after contract with Fortune 500 companies that are going to do transactions on their blockchain? Then they, through Mintage Mining, are going to mine those transactions. Right now, we're only receiving payouts on mining altcoins. What is going to happen to our weekly payouts when we are also mining transactions on our personal blockchain through all these corporate partners? How many transactions will one of these companies be doing in the course of a day, a week, a month? And right now we've got 15 under contract. I know who 5 of them are. I am not at liberty to say, because I want to be able to keep the company happy with me. But I do know a couple, and I can tell you right now, they're very recognizable names. Very exciting time to be a part of Nui. And right now, if people say, oh, it's too late to get into Bitcoin or blockchain, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. Okay. If you get in with the right company at the right time, all sorts of great things can happen for you and your family. So this is a great win-win scenario. By keeping us happy, they continue to decentralize, and they are able to attract those larger clients. So it's a total winning opportunity for us. We are sitting on a golden opportunity right here, okay? And there's a lot of points of entry into this thing. So I always tell people, get back with the person who introduced you to this, who asked you to be on this call, things of that sort, and just ask him all the different points of entry. What do I need to do? Okay, you can sign up a couple different options, okay, and we'll talk about those here in a second. But no monthly fees, no recruiting necessary, and a true passive income. You don't have to be a great marketer to make money in this. That's what's so amazing about it, because of the mining, because of the passive element. I honestly believe, and this is a bold statement, but I don't care, I'm going to say it. I believe Nui and Mintage Mining are setting the gold standard, the benchmark for what online companies and opportunities need to look like. Okay, I know a lot about this company. I only share a fraction of what I know on these calls, because there's other announcements coming out in the next several months that I want to say. I want to just scream it from the rooftops, but I can't. I have to hold back on purpose. But even with what I'm able to share is very exciting. And we have a team of a lot of great people, excited people for good reason. So compounding your weekly mining payouts, you can start as low as $25 and up, okay? I started for 1,189 units, which was $1,189, plus my annual fee of $125. We'll get into that for a second. Well, that 1,189 units, without putting another penny, not 1 cent into it, has turned into almost 40,000 units in 6 months. 1,100 units to 40,000 units. That's 40 times my money in 6 months. So when people say, hey, John, does this work? I look at them and say, yes, this works, okay? That's one account that I have. My wife also has an account. She has more units in her account than I do, okay? And then I have had another account in here with the business partner, started with $43, 43 units. About, 4 months ago, has about 10,000 units in there now. Okay, this works. This works incredibly well. And I've been paid every single week, every Wednesday, every Friday for 6.5 months. Okay, but what I always tell people to do, they always say, well, how do I get in? What dollar amount should I use? And things of that sort. I always say, you know what? Go to this endcalculators.com, look, take a calculator, figure it at 1%, 1.5%, 2%, 2.5%. Right now, our year to date is about 1.93% a week. So I need to kind of adjust those numbers at 2.5% on here. 1.93 has been our year to date. I believe it will increase because of the companies coming onto our blockchain and other things that are going to be happening with Kala and another thing that's coming out very soon is we are launching our own crypto wallet called Vault. So you've got a lot of people use Coinbase right now. It's one of the more popular ones here in the US. Vault will be a fraction of the fee. Maybe I think it's about 25% of what Coinbase charges. It's a cold storage solution, meaning it's not hackable unless somebody's actually has possession of your computer and they can still hack it that way. So therefore, the money in Vault is 100% insured. Okay, 100% insured to not just have Kala, but you'll be able to have Bitcoin and several other tokens and coins in there as well. Okay, you don't just have to use Kala in Vault. So very, very amazing. So it's another solution, and they're just pretty much launching a lot of this stuff right now. That they ship the rigs out for us so that we can receive those as members. Once these rigs are received, they will turn the blockchain on. They will announce the name of their blockchain. I don't even know the name of it. Okay, I have tried and poked and prodded as much as I can. I can't get them to give it to me. I wouldn't share it anyway until they said I could, but they're very excited about the name of the blockchain. And once we receive the rigs here in the next week or two, once they're confirmed through the international shipping, things of that sort, they're turning the sucker on, and we're all going to be in a very good place, even if we don't have rigs. Okay, don't think you missed the ship on this if you didn't get a rig. Don't even worry about it, because everything they do are going to reflect on those weekly payout percentages as well. Okay, and you'll have several opportunities to receive a rig in the future as well. There'll be over 10,000 of them before it's all said and done. So compounding interest. Now, we don't pay compounding interest. We pay weekly payout amounts, and I'll kind of explain that right after this slide here. But I love this. The secret to wealth isn't just making one decision and saying, okay, I'm going to get rich really, really fast. It's a series of decision after decision after decision over a period of time, and you can create a lot of wealth for yourself if you do it correctly. We have a great platform through mining and through Mintage and through Kala and through Nui to be able to create wealth for ourselves over time. I love this saying right here from this quote from Einstein: compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Okay. Another one: our loves are not given but only lent at compound interest of cent per cent. Okay. I love it. People that think this way, that are patient and able to strategize and things of that sort, if you have the correct platform in front of you, you can do extremely well. And you don't have to be an Einstein. These guys have laid it all out there for you. They've done the legwork. They've done the legal. They've spent the money, the time, the effort for all of us. And they need us just as bad as we need them, because, again, we are their network. Okay, so you have options in this too. So you can come in here and you can put $25 in for mining. So the way it works is simple. You become a member of Nui. It's $125 for the entire year. That's about $10 a month. You know, if you just pay it all at once, $125. What's so awesome, you'll earn the $125 over the course of the year just from the payouts off your mining, and guess what? You never come out of pocket again to renew the next year. People say, well, do we need to renew every year? Yes. Use the proceeds you were paid to renew. I'll never come out of pocket again. I can tell you right now, I've earned enough in New, and I'm not going to tell everybody what I've earned and all that, but I'm saying I've earned enough in New and Mintage to purchase mining units, to purchase a lot of Kala, to purchase Kala rigs, and still have plenty left over after starting with 1,189 units in one account and 43 in another. Okay, this is very, very, very doable. And I have not been in network marketing other than I got in about a year ago. I had been out of it for over 14, 15 years. So I didn't come with this massive team that followed me, okay? But I attached myself, I locked arms into a company that made sense. And I thought, well, geez, if there's no problems with retention, this is where I want to be, okay? If I'm being paid every week and there's a passive element, this is where I want to be. If they've done all that legal and they have Jones Day and they have all these experts leading them and guiding them, this is where I want to be. Okay, so with this, we have options. You can say, I'm going to throw $100 and $1,000, whatever it may be, however many, $1 per unit. Okay, and then you calculate based on how many units you have, based off average weekly payouts over 3 years, how much will that be? Or you can say, you know what, I want to take money out every week. I don't want to repurchase and create a compounding effect. I want to just take money out every week. You can do that every single Wednesday when you get paid. You put in a Bitcoin wallet, you click withdraw. Within 20 minutes, you've got your money, just like that. Or you can leave it in a Bitcoin wallet and you can ride that wave up and down, up and down, up and down. Or you can repurchase and create a compounding effect. Either one of those works. Okay, it doesn't matter. Then what's really cool about this, you see the guy saying, oh no, and I'm saying, oh yes. Okay, there's a matrix involved, which is really cool. Because usually when you hear a term matrix, you're like, oh crap, no, 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 no. But remember this, passive, passive, passive. This is passive income. That could be more income if you share it with others. Okay, just because there's matrix, you're not losing your passive. You have that no matter what. That's there no matter what. That's what's so awesome about this. Now I say I refer one person. If that person comes in and purchases units, I receive 10% of that initial purchase. 10%. I also receive 10% for life of any additional purchase that they make throughout the entire time. Whether they stop at 3 years or continue going, whatever. Every time they repurchase, I receive a 10% bonus in units, which is better than dollars. So say, for example, somebody purchases 1,000 units. I receive 100 units. Well, take 100 units and multiply it by 2% a week for 152 weeks and see what that number is. It's staggering. It's great. It's a lot more than $100. Okay, and the more units I build up each week, the higher my payouts are, right? Because I'm being paid off based off of how many active units I have. Everybody that they bring in, I receive a 2% override, or people that may spill over below me or whatever, as long as I've unlocked a level. And this is my favorite part about this plan. This is a synergistic plan, not a communist plan. What does that mean? Well, if you created a communist plan, everybody would just be sitting back and waiting for everybody to work for them, correct? That's what would happen. So this company was smart enough, Richard, who is a master at creating plans, he said, let's make this a total team effort. Yes, you can do it passively, absolutely 100%. But if you really want to bolster your money, because I can tell you at a 1.93% return or a weekly payout, 1.93% average, I wouldn't have made 40 times my money in 6 months. There's no way. I would have made, I would have made money, but not 40 times. I referred other people. That's how I'm making over 40 times my money so quickly. And in one account, gosh, over 400 times, I mean $40, $43 over 10,000, almost 400 times my money. So it's staggering what you can do in this, and that doesn't even consider the call it or anything like that. Okay, so on this, it's really cool. You look at down here, level 1, there could be 3 people. Okay, on the old matrix, you're thinking, well, crap, I got to balance this, I got to balance that. No, 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 and no, you do not. Okay, if you refer one person, whether they fall on your right, left, middle, even in row 2, row 3, row 4, one person, you get 10% no matter where they end up. And anybody who falls in your organization, whether they bring them in or somebody else, and they end up on that first level, you've got one person, you've unlocked that level. So you get 2%, 2%, 2%. 2% on anybody at that level. If I refer another person, I get 10% on that other person. Then I get 2% of everybody on levels 1 and 2. Okay, all the way down 10 levels. I refer a third person, I get every 2% on everybody levels 1 through 3. So on down the line for 10 levels. But what's amazing for anybody that understands how a matrix works, things of that sort, there's something called dynamic compression. Not everybody underneath you will get 10 people, okay? That just means you'll get paid deeper. I've got legs right now 23, 24 levels deep of people that I've never met, I don't know them, and I'm being paid 2% off of all of them because not everybody underneath me has 10 people. The computer, they've got to pay up. They pay up 20%, 2 levels up, 2% up 10 levels. So if you're on level 5 and you have somebody that has a level 6 payment coming up, it'll pass them and go up to me because I've got 10. I would call it 10 in the pen, 10 in my personally enrolled network. I went out and I got 10 people quick. If I get 3 people in my first calendar month, that annual fee of $125 comes right back to me. right back to me. I get the money right back. In fact, every time somebody signs up in my organization, I make $5. Doesn't sound like a lot, but with as many people as I have, I received $5, 1,300 different times already this year. Remember, I started with $1,189 and $43, and I've received $5 over 1,300 times. And the 10% and the 2%. Override, boom, bonus, override, bonus, override, bonus. Okay, and it didn't matter where they were ended up in my matrix. My matrix is not balanced by all means. I've got some, some legs longer than others or whatever. It's all over the place. Okay, but the point is, no matter what, if I assign somebody up, I get 10%. Regardless, this is not your grandfather's matrix, and that's why it says that. You don't need silver, you don't need gold, you don't need bronze, you don't need to reach all these ridiculous, you got to take all that old stuff and kind of forget about it. Okay, this has a matrix because that's how they need to pay up, but it's 10% and 2%. That's what you remember. 10% anybody I bring in, 2% from anybody else, as long as I have unlocked that one level. That's it. That's what you have to remember on the compensation plan. Pretty simple. This kind of the last slide here. Are you still listening to this? Are you still reading this? I always tell people, get out there and sign up and do it. If you want to start passively, start passively. If you want to come in aggressively, let's do it. We've got a lot of team leaders on this team. We've got a lot of people that are excellent at training and developing, teaching everything. We're willing to help you. We've got a group called NUI Global Leaders on Facebook. I highly recommend joining that. Okay, we place a lot of posts on there, not to be annoying, but to just stay on top of things, to teach people. We've got a YouTube channel or YouTube playlist for NUI Global Leaders, but you have to be in NUI Global Leaders on Facebook to get the link for our playlist on YouTube, because it's a closed group. It's and we do that on purpose. Okay, but we have a lot of resources to share with people to help them build and develop. So with that, really quick, that's all I've got as far as the slides. I'm going to go through some of the comments, see if I have any questions in here really quick. Let's see here. How soon will Vault be launched? That one, okay, so Vault will be launched as soon as they announce the blockchain, from what I understand. I will ask that question again tomorrow in my leadership call. But from what I understand, Vault is ready to go. NUI Free is ready to go. A lot of these things are ready to go. The rigs took priority, right? Because they wanted to get the rigs out there. Those took priority. They just really busted their butts to get those out there to everybody. And now that they're out there, they're testing the network, everything's looking great. They're waiting for those confirmations for the deliveries to happen so they can turn on the blockchain and then roll everything out, such as Vault, such as the NUI Free and all that kind of stuff. So I think Vault will be coming out very soon. How did you purchase Kala? The first round of Kala token sales was done over 4 months ago. Yes, because I got in 6 months ago. So I was able to purchase Kala right when it first came out. And so you will be able to, you can get Kala through Core, which is compensation on real efforts. We didn't even get into that tonight because there's just so much information, but it's another way you can go in there. You can play games, you can do surveys, you can shop at different stores, all these different things to earn points that you can convert into Kala as soon as Kala reaches the exchanges. Or you can mine with a mining rig to mine Kala, or you can purchase Kala when it hits the exchanges. Let's see here. Okay, when will you have that lead generation system coming? Okay, so yes, I am working on a lead generation system. That is going to happen after Kala reaches the exchanges. Some of the leaders and I are going to basically put some money together, and I'm telling you, it's going to be a good lead generation system. I have used lead generation companies for years, and other things that I've done. I've sold medical. I used to be a loan officer for a while. I used to actually sell online marketing. I understand marketing inside out, frontwards, backwards, sales, the whole 9 yards. I have some great relationships with companies, but what I'm doing is I'm spearheading a project for our team to create leads for any of those who want to work outside of their warm markets. And so, but that's coming in a few months after we reach the exchanges. And that's definitely something that I'll be doing and keeping that open for for people here on our team. We are the fastest growing team, and I intend to stay on top. I am very proud of a lot of the members on this team. I know a lot of you put a lot of time and effort into this, so I appreciate everything everybody does. With that, I've read, I think, about all the comments I could see. I'm going to go ahead and be quiet so you guys can unmute yourselves. If anybody wants to make any comment or ask any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and take the opportunity. And don't be shy. Go ahead. So anyone, Jamie, do you want to make any comments? Actually, you've been with me for about what, 4 or 5 months now.
I have, and I enjoyed every single day of it. One thing I want to make sure people do understand is one of the things that makes this so special compared to every other MLM or business that we've been in the past, there is no auto ship here. You know, it used to be you'd have to pay that auto ship in order to keep people happy and making money. Well, guess what? Here, your own money that you're making is what everybody else is being paid for on your behalf as well as everybody else's. That is what's so unique and what's keeping our attrition at 100%.
No, that's awesome. No, and you're 100% right. Correct. I mean, this to me, like I said, is a full blockchain company. And so when people look at us and say, "Oh, you're just another MLM," I say, "No, you don't understand. You really got to take a look at this. Um, we are a decentralized network of individuals out there worldwide creating a huge or basically mining operation and solution for Kala, and a great solution for outside, third-party businesses to come and use our blockchain. It's just amazing. Yes, there's a networking element. Why? Because it's the fastest way to spread. It's the fastest, most inexpensive way to spread is through word of mouth. And they pay us handsomely for doing it. A 10% and a 2% is amazing. And so on top of our 100% payouts that we're already receiving as passive members. So yeah, very good point, Jamie. Thanks for sharing that. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Okay, great. So if not, I'll go ahead and end the call. I did about 10 minutes early tonight, so I'm very proud of myself for getting through that. I try to keep it under an hour. So I want to wish everybody a great night. Thank you for coming out. Oh, somebody just made a quick comment on chat, so let me see if I can see this here.
John, you're getting better and better.
Yeah, there you go. See, hello, hi all, hello everyone. Vault, okay. I think I've got. Okay, yeah, I think I've got it all. So awesome. Yep, got all the questions answered that I can see. So everybody have a great night. Thanks for coming out, sharing part of your Sunday with me. We will hopefully talk to you Wednesday on our next strategy training call. And I will post updates and things on Facebook as I hear them from corporate, and we'll kind of go from there. So thanks, guys.